English Senior Unknown Speed. Inaugurating the Indian Public Schools Conference, the President of India said, I am very grateful for having invited me to this function. I deem this both a privilege and an honor. I do not propose to inflict a long speech on you. I would, however, be failing in my duty if I do not share with you some thoughts that often come to my schools of their place in the national system of education and of the contribution they can and should make to the improvement of school education in the country. The public schools in India, which now include Sainik schools, also have a number of commendable features. They all strive to impart good education and to maintain standards. Their emphasis is on providing an all-round education which, in addition to the usual curriculum of general education, includes a welcome emphasis on the development of skills in using cans on art education and especially on physical education, games and sports. But the situation in the country has changed very rapidly during the last 20 years and will undergo very great changes in the years ahead. The public schools cannot remain unaffected in this changing social environment. For their development and even for their survival, they will have to move with the times, and for this purpose, two major steps are necessary. The first is that the public schools must strive to become a part of the national system of education and contribute to its development rather than stand out in a clarified isolation. The second is that they must take into account all the criticism that is often made of the public schools and of the growing hostility against them in certain quarters. It may be easy to laugh it off or to ignore it altogether as misinformed criticism, but it is hardly desirable. A much better approach would be to take it seriously, to analyze its cause, and to adopt measures which will overcome it so that the public schools come to be valued as progressive institutions which make a useful contribution for the development of education in the society as a whole. I would like to place a few things before you for your consideration on these two issues. In addition to the maintenance of good educational standards, I would like the public schools to be distinguished by two important features. The first is their contribution to national integration as institutions with an all India character, which draw their students from all parts of the country. This valuable aspect of your work will have to be developed further, and I would request you to strive earnestly to promote a sense of national unity and solidarity. The unity of this country has to be built within its educational institutions. The curriculum of our schools, colleges, and universities must be so formulated and taught that every student will have an understanding of our inheritance, of the problem that we are facing at present, and of the type of new society which we desire to create for ourselves. It must also give every student a proper pride in our past, a responsible and dignified approach to our present, and faith and confidence in our future. You are doing something in this field already. I would like you to intensify this aspect of your work and develop programs and tools which could be used in other schools also. Yet another aspect in which your schools should distinguish themselves is experimentations. I know that a good deal of experimentation does go on in your institutions at present, but I would like it to be emphasized even more in future so that it becomes your most distinctive attribute. Letter from Nelson Engineering Company Limited, Coimbatore to Messrs. Morgan and Company, Salem. Dear Source, we are very glad to receive your letter of the 4th instant. We are very much interested in the project referred to in your letter. We have necessary facilities to undertake the work. We have the equipment, men and materials also. We have undertaken jobs similar to the one that you want us to take up for you in Erode and other places. All of them are satisfied with our performance. We are getting more and more enquiries from those areas. We are sending our engineer Mr. Vasan to see you on the 15th instant. He is the person who is in charge of such jobs undertaken by us. He will be in a position to answer any points that may like to raise in this connection. After seeing the place and the nature of work, he will give you an idea of the approximate amount that we may charge for this job and the time within which the work will be completed. He will offer any advice on any matter if you want. We assure you of our best services, yours faithfully.